Hello and welcome to coverage of the Primordial Discord Tournament number 4. I'm Caillou and today we're going to be watching the Swiss round 1 match between Styx and SoulsR. So right off the bat it looks like Styx is playing a deck with the new set IKO, has Lurrus of the Dream Den as his companion. Unfortunately for some reason the image isn't loading in Cockatrice, but I think by this point Lurrus has made enough of an impact on multiple formats that everyone knows what it is. Meanwhile, for the rest of the cards in Styx's hand, looks like he's playing some sort of either just straight white-red cycling or Jeskai cycling. The Frostveil Ambush, I think, could just be in there for the cycling one. Meanwhile, SoulsR is playing the same deck that he played last cycle, which is Ixalan, black-red, pirate aggro. It presents a very fast clock, especially if it gets its uncommon signpost, but is definitely vulnerable to disruption, so has to go fast. So I'm going to swing in for 2 with this Grasping Scoundrel. Main 2 has 3 Dusk Legion Zealots, so yeah, it's going to play out one of them, draw a card, hitting another Grasping Scoundrel. SoulsR, if he hits another land next turn, can curve into 2 creatures, which would probably be good. Meanwhile, Styx is going to tap out for Dranith Stinger, which actually does block both this Grasping Scoundrel and this Dusk Legion Zealot. Also, this startling development makes me feel that maybe Styx is playing blue, like, legitimately. But again, it's another Cycling 1 card, so I don't know if this is just like Cycling Storm. Anyways, it's going to swing in again with the Grasping Scoundrel. No blocks from Styx. I guess wants to keep this Dranith Stinger around. He's going to play another Dusk Legion Zealot and a Grasping Scoundrel. And next turn does have 4 mana to be able to run out the Ravenous Choop and kill one of Styx's creatures. Not that I think it'll matter, because again, Lurrus of the Dream Den can just come down and then buy it back. So yeah, he's going to play a second Dranith Stinger, and then has 1 mana up to be able to Frostveil Ambush or Startling Development, and then shock SoulsR while drawing a card. Basically, these with Dranith Stinger out, these 1 mana cyclers turn to burn spells with card advantage, which is basically just what any burn deck wants. So SoulsR is going to play the Ravenous Choop to kill a Stinger. In response, Styx is going to cycle the Frostveil Ambush and draw a card, ping SoulsR for 2. But in combat, SoulsR swings for a massive, just swinging in for 6 here. Styx is going to block the Grasping Scoundrel with the Dranith Stinger, trading it. But SoulsR still gets 4 damage in. And Styx just keeps hitting lands. It does have another Dranith Stinger in hand and a Lurrus, but neither of them really help in the situation. I guess the best thing to do would be play a Dranith Stinger, and then hardcast Startling Development to buff it, and then block the Grasping Scoundrel. Meanwhile, SoulsR has 2 Fathom Fleet Borders, which is, I think you probably... that's a good question. Do you play the Fathom Fleet Border first, or do you play Dusk Legion Zealot hoping to hit a land so you can hit another Fathom Fleet Border? Okay, so Styx is actually going to block the Ravenous Choop and Startling Development. Yep. I was thinking that Styx would block the Grasping Scoundrels, but that works as well. It still takes 4 damage, though. And yes, SoulsR is just going to keep up the pressure. Styx's life total is pretty low and doesn't want to accidentally anti-tempo himself by playing the Dusk Legion Zealot first, I guess. Okay, Dranith Healer. I feel like if there's any time for it... okay, there's 2 options. So Styx can play Lurrus and then immediately replay one of the Dranith Stingers, and then is pretty up, because at that point Styx can just essentially Infini-Chump block with the Dranith Stingers, and then cast one with the Lurrus. Yeah, so he's going to play the Lurrus, and Dranith Stinger coming back. The only creature that's big enough to not get killed by the Dranith Stingers or not get chumped is the Fathom Fleet Border. Okay, so it does have the Fanatical Firebrand as 1 means of reach, but I don't know if it's enough. Yeah, so we're going to run Dusk Legion Zealot number 3. Cinder Barons does need one of his reach spells at this point. He's going to play the Fanatical Firebrand, and then I think you just swing in. The problem is, if he swings in with the Fathom Fleet Border, it just gets double blocked. So yeah, he's going to swing with the Grasping Scoundrel and the Fathom Fleet Border. Oh, and the Dusk Legion Zealots as well. He's just going to keep trying to tick down Styx's life total. So Styx can double block Fathom Fleet Border and kill it, and then take another 4. But no, okay, he's gonna kill the Grasping Scoundrels, kill one of the Dusk Legion Zealot, and then take 4 damage. I guess this kills one more creature than the other line, but it does leave the Fathom Fleet Border alive. Okay, and then SoulsR is going to crack the Fanatical Firebrand and kill the Draenei Stinger, which blocked the Dusk Legion Zealot. So it's a 3-for-2 trade in Styx's favor, but Styx does lose one piece of their board there, so it makes it more difficult for them to infinity block with the Draenei Stingers. But yikes, does have Flourishing Fox and Draenei Healer in hand, so it can just go Fox, Draenei Healer, Draenei Stinger from grave. Can even actually, could probably just play Fox and then go for blood, and oh no, actually it won't go for blood on Draenei Stinger, won't kill Fathom Fleet. Yeah, never mind. So I just probably hard cast Draenei Healer and Flourishing Fox, because SoulsR is almost out of cards in hand, and Styx can just, this Lurrus just provides basically infinite card advantage for Styx. So they're completely fine with trading off their board. So yeah, it's going to play the Draenei Healer and the Flourishing Fox. Yep. So SoulsR has the Fanatical Firebrand, Fathom Fleet Border number 2 coming down. At this point, Styx's board is a little too big. In response, Styx is going to cycle to go for blood. Flourishing Fox becomes a 2/2. Styx gains 1 life, and Draenei Stinger pings SoulsR for 1. Hits a land off of that, which isn't super great. Yeah, so it's now going to swing in with the Fathom Fleet Border and the 2 Dusk Legion Zealots. I think if you're Styx here, yeah, you double block the Fathom Fleet Border, then block one of the Dusk Legion Zealots, and then take 1 from the other Dusk Legion Zealot. And then interestingly, SoulsR chooses not to kill the Flourishing Fox. I feel like that would have been the right call, because the Flourishing Fox can keep growing right here, which is like the opposite of what Styx wants. Fortunately for Styx, or fortunately for SoulsR, Styx is just hitting more and more lands here. Is going to get to replay the Draenei Stinger off of the Lurrus. I don't think, did Styx take 1 damage last turn from the other Dusk Legion Zealot? I don't think Styx did. And that 1 life could determine this match. I hope it doesn't come down to that. But at this point, it looks like Styx is just going to overwhelm SoulsR. So it's going to cycle the Draenei Healer, which I guess makes sense, because Styx can just replay it anyways with Lurrus. Yeah, so it's going to cycle it, hits another Flourishing Fox, gonna, yeah, play the Draenei Healer from grave. And then, yep, gonna cycle the Flourishing Fox, gains 2 life. Flourishing Fox becomes, other Flourishing Fox becomes a 4/4, pings SoulsR for 1. And Startling Development, why not just cycle this as well? I guess is holding it up combat trick, I don't know, Fathom Fleet Border? SoulsR just going to play a Goblin Trailblazer, but yeah, I think at this point, like, SoulsR can't even burn out Styx just because of the life gain from the healers. So on end, Styx is going to cycle the Startling Development, gain 2 more life, ping SoulsR for 2 more, buff up the Flourishing Fox, or ping SoulsR for 1 more, sorry. Has SoulsR been losing life from these Draenei Stingers? I feel like he should have been. He's going to lose the life there from the cycled Go for Blood, and hits another cycling card. My god. Another Startling Development. Fox grows even bigger. Styx gains even more life. SoulsR is in even worse position. Fortunately, that last cycling train stopped with the planes, but oh no, top decks the Draenei Healer. And then I think if you were Styx here, you probably play the Draenei Stinger from grave. Oh no, it's playing the Flourishing Fox. I feel like this is a mistake, because there's a little bit of a board stall here right now, and I feel like if you just play the Stinger, you can just essentially burn SoulsR out of the game. So it's going to cycle the Draenei Healer, and yeah, god, gains an obscene amount of life. The foxes grow bigger, and this is the first non-cycling 1 card we've seen. But at this point, Styx has so much mana that it doesn't really matter. Oh, and a Zenith Flare! I think, yeah, that's emphatically just it. God, yeah, that is 10 damage to face. And that was incredibly disgusting showing from Styx. Just the power of Lurrus plus cycling, and like SoulsR almost got there, but just the Infinity Chump blockers from the Lurrus just allowed Styx to trade so well. So I wonder if out of the board SoulsR will have some sort of removal for the Lurrus. But once again, these cycling decks are so hard to beat because the Draneth Healer gain, at least as aggro, because Draneth Healer will gain Styx a lot of life. Zenith Flare also gains Styx life and is just a killing win con. I think it's bleak for SoulsR, but let's see how game 2 turns up. Okay, so going into game 2, SoulsR has a turn 1 Fanatical Firebrand, can get in some beats. Cannot play anything else in his hand right now, but has Direfleet, Neckbreaker, Rekindling Phoenix, and Ravenous Troop, which are all crazy impactful bombs at 4. The Ravenous Troop specifically is an amazing bomb here because it can kill the Lurrus. So I think having seen the power of the Lurrus last game, SoulsR is definitely going to save up the Troop for it. And hitting a land here does mean that SoulsR can play Forerunner of the Coalition next turn. But on end, Styx is going to cycle the Startling Development. Does have 2 lands here, so can play out Flourishing Fox, and then can hold up a Draneth Healer as something to cycle. Immediately going to cycle the Startling Development. I feel like this is kind of a mistake because you want to bait SoulsR into attacking, or like into sacrificing the Fanatical Firebrand. Growing the Fox at instant speed is what makes it super good. And it looks like, I guess for Styx's rares, really just went for the lands, because I guess there weren't any good CMC 2 or less cards for Styx's deck. Like, it's just such a synergy based deck that really the lands are probably just worth it for the cycling themselves. So plays out the Forerunner of the Coalition and did top deck the Cinder Barons. 2 straight lands is the perfect top deck for SoulsR. And I think SoulsR searched for another Forerunner of the Coalition, just going to stack them. Because next turn SoulsR plays Cinder Barons, it comes in tapped, so SoulsR can't play the Phoenix or the Direfleet Neckbreaker, but running out the Forerunner makes every pirate after that a shock. The problem here is, even though SoulsR seems to have all avenues covered, the Ravenous Troop is going to be wasted. Well, like, if Styx cycles enough cards, might have to waste the Ravenous Troop on the Flourishing Fox. Though I guess that Rekindling Phoenix can Infinity Chump block the Flourishing Fox. Ravenous Troop can still be saved for the Lurrus. Also, Styx just Fire Prophesied the Forerunner of the Coalition, so unfortunately SoulsR will not be able to shock each time a pirate enters the battlefield. So yeah, it's just going to play out the Cinder Barons and then play Forerunner number 2. Can't grab a third one because if he did have a third one, that would be breaking the uncommon rule. But we'll probably be getting another Direfleet Neckbreaker here. I know I was going to get a Direfleet Poisoner. Okay. The Death Touch does act as a rattlesnake for Styx, blocking or attacking with this Flourishing Fox. So Styx is going to play another Fire Prophecy. I feel like this is a mistake, actually. I feel like if I was Styx, I would play the Valiant Rescuer and then cycle the Draneth Healer, because then you can build up your board. And is putting Valiant Rescuer on the bottom? Yeah, I feel like that's just an abject mistake. And he's going to play the Draneth Healer. Yeah, I just feel like that's a mistake. Because, like, sure, the Draneth Healer gains you life, but at this point, what you want to be doing is getting more cards. You want to expand your board so that you have more chump blockers. And you want to get more cards with cycling into your grave, especially permanents, both for Zenith Flare and for Lurrus. So I feel like the line there was the Valiant Rescuer into cycle the Draneth Healer, attack with the Flourishing Fox. So SoulsR on his turn is just going to be playing the Rekindling Phoenix because it's just kind of a bomb. And like we mentioned earlier, can Infinity Chump block the Flourishing Fox if need be. So Styx is going to cycle a Draneth Stinger, buff up the Flourishing Fox, gain a life off the Draneth Healer. Okay, and now is going to swing in with the Flourishing Fox, which I do think is a mistake, because yeah, SoulsR is just going to trade the Phoenix for the Fox. I guess the thought is Styx can Zenith Flare the Elemental token. Yeah, okay, he's going to Zenith Flare the Elemental token, so SoulsR can't get back this Rekindling Phoenix. SoulsR does have the Direfleet Neckbreaker here, though. And yep, here it comes. So now probably just going to swing in, yes, just going to swing in with Fanatical Firebrand for a whopping 3. If unblocked, we'll put Styx back to his starting life total. So yeah, Styx is just going to take it. And then now, if you're Styx, I feel like you play Lurrus and then cycle Drannith Healer. So yeah, it's going to cycle Drannith Healer, hits another land. I don't know if Styx is playing too many lands for this type of deck, or if he's just getting very unlucky. Because I feel like in like a deck with such a low curve, and B such a high turnover rate of cards because of cycling, I feel like you don't need to play that many lands. But yeah, Styx is going to play the Lurrus and still has 2 mana up to be able to play something from grave. I would imagine another Drannith Healer. No, okay, he's going to go Flourishing Fox. I feel like Flourishing Fox is worse than the X2s, just because the 2Xs, because the 2Xs can actually block the 2 toughness creatures. Also, like, did Styx forget that SoulsR has the Direfleet Poisoner? Because if Styx tries to block and trade the Fanatical Firebrand, SoulsR can just play the Direfleet Poisoner. I guess Styx is trying to like bluff out that he has a 1-mana cycler. And I guess SoulsR is going to fall for it. It's just going to take the trade. Main 2, Ravenous Choop, kill the Lurrus. Makes a lot of sense. That's basically what he's been holding up this Choop for this whole time. Lurrus still did get to replace itself with the Fox though. So even drawing 1 card for Styx is pretty good. But now, like, I think Styx is kind of on the back burner. Like, I'm not sure, like, what he can do. He's going to cycle the Startling Development, gain a life back up. And Drannith Healer number 2. I guess the main problem for SoulsR is that right now that Zenith Flare in hand deals 6 damage and gains 6 life. But the problem for Styx is that SoulsR has, like, hella aggro. And Styx just lost his best card advantage engine. So he's going to cycle the Drannith Healer, hitting a Valiant Rescuer. Cycling the Valiant Rescuer. And was playing it. Okay. I guess because it like I mentioned before, it generates you a board, but doesn't have any other cycling cards. So he's just going to swing in with the Ravenous Choop. And then can play the Fathom Fleet Border main 2. Yep, is going to do that. Once SoulsR hits another land, Ravenous Choop on the Valiant Rescuer, plus Direfleet Poisoner to buff up Direfleet Neckbreaker so it doesn't die to an X2 is probably good. But I guess it's too late for that because now Styx is going to cycle the Startling Development, get a Soldier, so now these 2 together can block and kill Direfleet Neckbreaker even with the Direfleet Poisoner buff. And cycling that Startling Development into another 1-mana cycler. And he thinks, yeah, Styx is passing there because Zenith Flare is an instant anyways, and he wants to be able to get another trigger off the Valiant Rescuer, so he's not going to try to cycle Storm. Okay, he's going to swing in with everything right here. And notably, the Direfleet is a 5-2, and the Fathom Fleet Border is also a 5-3. Styx is going to cycle Go for Blood, getting another Soldier. Notably, SoulsR has 2 tricks here, the Direfleet Poisoner and the Bombard, to be able to win this combat. So if Styx goes all in on blocking here, it won't be pretty. So he's only going to double block the Direfleet Neckbreaker. SoulsR is going to bombard one of the soldiers, which seems like a bad idea. Why not just Direfleet Poisoner, buff up the Neckbreaker, and then you also have another creature on board? Yeah, that seems, I don't know, that seems like kind of a misplay from SoulsR. But Styx will still take a total of 7 damage from the Ravenous Choop plus Fathom Fleet Border. I'm not sure why Styx didn't try to trade the Drannith Healer for the Ravenous Choop. I guess because Drannith Healer does gain him more life, so might just want to keep that around. And is also probably like, I don't care about losing 2 life right now, because next turn, Zenith Flare does, oh god, a total of 10 damage and gains Styx back 10 life, which is just pretty disgusting. And Styx is going to be cycling even more, because I don't doubt that he's going to cycle this Ketria Triome. And it's another 1-mana cycler in the Go for Blood. Yeah, I think this game is slipping out of SoulsR's hand, despite having the board and life advantage. Is going to cycle the Ketria Triumph first? This feels like a mistake to me. I feel like you want to cycle the Go for Blood first, because if you do and you hit another 1-mana cycler, you want to be able to keep cycling. Or maybe Styx's plan is, because of this Valiant Rescuer, I'm not planning on multi-cycling anyways, so I'll just pay 3 and I'll still have Zenith Flare up. And SoulsR finally hitting his 1-drops, but kind of not when he needs it. So he's going to swing with everything once again. Styx in response going to cycle the Go for Blood, gain a life off the Dranith Healer, make another Soldier, and that's one more card in grave for the Zenith Flare. Once again going to double block the Direfleet Neckbreaker. But yeah, SoulsR does have the Direfleet Poisoner, so the soldiers will die again. Unfortunately, Styx can just keep doing this every turn cycle, assuming that he hits more 1-mana cyclers. And even if he doesn't, like, this Zenith Flare is just steadily ticking up. So Styx does not have to care about losing this kind of life. Yep, and there are more cyclers. So the question is for Styx, do you want to just cycle these 1-mana cyclers right now and try to Cycle Storm? Even if you don't get more value off the Valiant Rescuer, it could, like, buff up your Zenith Flare. Because, let's see, that's 4, but hits a planes off one of them. But then, yeah, I feel like, but I guess if you don't hit a cycler off Dranith Stinger, things start to hurt. Actually, I think I would almost, instead I'd play the Dranith Stinger right now, because then you have a 2-2 instead of a 1-1. But I guess Dranith Stinger will draw you a card and create a 1-1. Yeah, actually, no, it's you cycle the Dranith Stinger on SoulsR's turn instead of playing it out. Ooh, the Fanatical Firebrand provides a little bit of reach and has Ravenous Choop again to kill the Valiant Rescuer to stop Styx from constantly cycling every turn cycle and gaining more humans. One last cycle from Styx, though, is going to make one more human. Draws into a Dranith Stinger. The problem is now SoulsR attacks for 2, 7, 12, 16, 20. Yeah, it's going to attack for 20 here, of which Styx can block a maximum of 10, and then still takes 10 damage and dies, unless Styx plays Zenith Flare like right now, and kills, and probably has to kill a creature. So I feel like at this point you just cycle the Dranith Stinger, and then, yeah, that's a total of 1, 2, so 15 cards in grave with cycling. So could go 16, 17, 18. Not quite enough to kill SoulsR. But I was thinking that if Styx hit a cycle, like a set of 1-mana cyclers off the Dranith Stinger, could they just point Zenith Flare at SoulsR's face and kill them? But that doesn't seem like it'll be possible. Still, Zenith Flare X equals 17 is nothing to scoff at. So yeah, probably just point the Zenith Flare at the Direfleet Neckbreaker, and then gain back like 17 life. And then you can trade off the human and the healer with the poisoner and the soldier respectively. So yeah, I was going to cycle the Stinger, gain a life. Does not hit another cycler, unfortunately, just another land. And yep, here comes the Zenith Flare, and is going to kill the Direfleet Neckbreaker. Probably should have done this pre-combat so that all of the other creatures wouldn't get buffed, but yeah. So Neckbreaker dies. Styx gains a whopping, like, I think it's 16 life at that point. But then we'll also take, oh no, that does never mind, it's not an until end of turn, it's just a static, I thought it was whenever a pirate you control attacks, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. No, it's just a static attacking thing. Styx is going to trade the Grasping Scoundrel for the soldier token, and then just, I guess, takes, going to cycle the Go for Blood, gain 1 life, hits a Fire Prophecy, which he can use to kill the Fathom Fleet Border. So he's still behind on board. Like, gaining back all that life with the Zenith Flare is huge. But fortunately, both Zenith Flares in grave, so I don't know what Styx can use as a win con. And oof, SoulsR hitting a Fathom Fleet Border off the top of his library. And Styx just takes 6 and hits a plains. Is flooding out so hard right now. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is just over. And yet, the SoulsR with the perfect top deck just bombards a Dranith healer. Styx has no way to stop this whopping 9 damage. It's down to 3, and I don't think there's any top deck which will help, but another mountain definitely doesn't. Styx got so flooded out that game. And that was a crazy back and forth because like Styx went Lurrus and then it got Ravenous Chooped. The Zenith Flares came in as an interaction. Even till the very end, that was down to the wire. So I'm really like, based on how these first 2 games have gone, I'm excited but also a little bit scared to see how game 3 goes down because both of these decks are both like searingly fast and both have great interaction for the other. Okay, getting into game 3, Styx once more with the turn 2 Dranith Stinger or Healer. Also has good interaction with Fire Prophecy. And on end can cycle the Startling Development. Meanwhile, SoulsR does have the turn 1 Grasping Scoundrels, and then can curve that into a turn 2 Goblin Trailblazer or Dusk Legion Zealot. Also has Ravenous Choop for Lurrus. So Styx is just going to play the Dranith Stinger out turn 2. But yeah, looking at SoulsR's hand, I don't know if Styx is going to be able to answer just this curve of creatures. So yeah, he's going to trade the Dranith Stinger for the Grasping Scoundrels. For Styx, just taking less damage and cutting down SoulsR's board early is what matters. And having cards and more cycling cards in grave just makes your Zenith Flares bigger. And then he's going to play a Goblin Trailblazer. Unfortunately for SoulsR, Styx top decks the Flourishing Fox, and therefore turn 3 has 2 creatures which are able to block this Trailblazer. So yeah, SoulsR's going to attack in with the Trailblazer. We'll get to trade 1 for 1 with the Fox. And main 2 just is going to play out another. Yup. And there's the Zenith Flare from Styx. Okay, so he's just going to play the Dranith Healer. Once again, now has 2 creatures that can trade with the Goblin Trailblazer. SoulsR does not hit a 4th land to be able to play these Choops or play 2 Dusk Legion Zealots. Is going to swing with the Trailblazer and then trade with the Dranith Healer. But this does mean main 2 he can't play the Border without taking 2 life. So he's just going to play the Dusk Legion Zealot first and draw a card. I feel like though, should have just went main 1 Fathom Fleet Border and hits a Forerunner of the Coalition off the Dusk Legion Zealot. This is basically like a perfect hand for SoulsR, other than not having a land for the Ravenous Choop. So Styx is going to actually play the Gopher Blood, have the Dranith Stinger fight the Dusk Legion Zealot, and is going to swing in for 2 with the Dranith Stinger. This is much more aggressive than we've seen Styx be in previous games, and I guess Styx has realized that like he needs to play to the board more than he's doing, because otherwise it gets out of control like that previous game. So Styx is going to play a Forerunner of the Coalition, topping a Fanatical Firebrand this time, and not another Forerunner. I'm actually kind of surprised. I'm not sure why SoulsR is doing that. Like, why not a Direfleet Neckbreaker? Why not anything but a Fanatical Firebrand? Styx, meanwhile, continues to get semi-flooded. Like, at this point, I think you just play the Fire Prophecy and then kill the Forerunner and then swing in with the Dranith Stinger. But I almost no. I feel like you want to save the Fire Prophecy for the Fathom Fleet Borders, just because you have no other way of killing them other than double blocking. So I feel like if I'm Styx, I just pass right here. Actually, could have played the Lurrus and gotten back the Dranith Healer. Honestly, that would have not been a bad play. So in response to SoulsR playing the Fanatical Firebrand, is going to Fire Prophecy the Forerunner. Immediately afterwards, SoulsR plays the Fathom Fleet Border. That's gotta hurt for Styx. And no, another Plains. Styx at this point has to run out the Lurrus. Even if it gets insta-killed, he has basically no other playable cards. So he's going to play the Lurrus and then probably grab back a Dranith Stinger. Or a Dranith Healer. They're basically just both 2/2s in this situation. Okay, he's going to grab back the Dranith Healer. So now has a little bit more of a board. Can double block the Fathom Fleet Border with the Healer plus Stinger. Unfortunately, SoulsR does have the Ravenous Choop for the Lurrus, so... And yep, here comes the answer. Yeah, Ravenous Choop just being a 2-for-1 hurts so much. And then Styx is gonna take 3 from this Fathom Fleet swinging in. But finally, a card that isn't a land as a top deck doesn't have a way to play it. Otherwise, I think Styx would hold it up and block the Fathom Fleet border. Instead, it's just going to cycle it. But no, there's a land. Styx is getting so flooded right now. And oh no, the second Fathom Fleet border for SoulsR is going to swing for 5 with the border plus Choop. I think you have to double block the border. No, it's just going to take the 5. I feel like Styx just not blocking when he needs to. Like both this game and last game was just, I feel like is too insistent on holding up his board when he needs to be not taking this damage and trading off with some SoulsR's creatures. Because otherwise, yeah, look at this. He's just going to get overwhelmed. Top deck's Adranith Healer is going to cycle it. I feel like at this point you just want to play it, though. Because you need to get back that board presence. Valiant Rescuer, I think, is definitely worth playing. But doesn't have any cyclers left in hand. Okay, so it's going to cycle the Valiant Rescuer. Ketria Triome has just enough mana to cycle this as well. He's just going to go to end, I guess pretending to hold up something. But yeah, now can just swing in with everything. And Styx is just kind of in a bind. Once again, I think at this point, I guess you just trade Ravenous Choop and the Dusk Legion Zealot for the Adranith Healer and Adranith, or you just double block the Fathom Fleet border. But you need to kill something at this point. You can't just take 9 damage unanswered. Well, I guess Styx is saying, you know what? Anything's possible if you believe in yourself. I can take 9 damage unanswered. Watch me. Main 2, SoulsR is going to play the Dusk Legion Zealot, hitting yet another Fathom Fleet border, but instead is going to play the Ravenous Choop, killing the Dranith Stinger, which I guess is fine. In response, Styx is going to cycle the Ketria Triome, just get one last little bit of value out of this Dranith Stinger first, but hits another land. Okay, it has 2 Zenith Flares here. So I guess at this point you just have to use both of them and shoot down some of Styx's board, like Zenith Flare number 1 on Fathom Fleet border, Zenith Flare number 2 on Fathom Fleet border. Yep. Wait, how much damage is this? Are they 6? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, that's way more than 6. Actually, yeah, you just point that at face and win. Oh my god, Styx with... I completely forgot that SoulsR has been pinging himself with those Dusk Legion Zealots. Oh no, and that was the craziest top deck by Styx. And I'm not gonna lie, I was fully expecting Styx to lose that game. Just double Zenith Flare just gets there sometimes. Good games to both players, and it's cool to see an Ikoria deck out here, as well as a card that, or as well as a deck that performed reasonably well last time. I think it got third in the previous tournament. So to see that go down round 1 to one of the newer decks is kind of exciting and makes me, kind of uncertain about how this tournament is going to shake out with the addition of Ikoria and companions. Until next time, this is Caillou signing off.